crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn of seas, your sip of chaga coffee. Okay, I'm going to touch briefly on silver. Clearly, silver was allowed to go up, meaning the short banksters could not squeeze any more blood from the turnip as far as getting out of their short position. They have one of the lowest short positions they've had, but they can't get out of it. Still close to, this is the top 8 criminal banksters, close to 400, I think it's 375 million ounces. But that's about it. That's all they can do without going even more short. So voila, we have the run up. At the exact same time, we have mints all around the world running out of silver. We got silver shortages continuing. They've been going on all year. Premiums are still high. Yes, now is the time you want to get your physical silver before the next craziness starts, which is approaching a delivery month of May that everybody I hear talking says is going to be a big one. We're searching for the biggest. And that's not good when there's silver shortages. The Perth Mint is bleeding silver, bleeding 1,000-ounce bars. This is the momentum that we need. And if it doesn't happen in May, it might happen in July. It's just getting worse and worse and worse for the criminal market riggers. And that's what it is. You know, the Perth Mint is assisting in the illegal manipulation of the price of silver. And I believe through Macquarie Bank. And so we'll see Macquarie Bank offering up, shall we say, Perth Mint bars on the COMEX. Exactly what we saw the last 2 months. This month, Macquarie, which is an Australian bank, very close ties with the Perth Mint because the board of directors has a Macquarie guy on it. The guy Twigger. You got an itchy Twigger finger. So yes, we are seeing the increase in the price of gold and silver. Nowhere near fair market value. And we're headed towards fair market value. All we care about is the true price discovery. No, 500 million ounces of silver, electronic silver should not trade every day. The COMEX is in on it. The banksters are in on it. We all know what's going on. So this is, and how do we win? We win through the taking of physical silver off the market. Yes, we've been saying it for years. I remember the program to, what was it, kill J.P. Morgan, remove all your silver type of thing back 10 years ago. Great program. I think we got 10 million off the, 10 million doesn't do it. We need a lot. So keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Take physical silver in your own possession. It's nothing better than the feeling of your own assets in your own hands. And if you don't have physical silver yet, go to your local coin shop. Buy all they got. If you don't have a local guy and you don't trust anybody, which is probably a good time not to trust people, my guy Andy Scheckman of Miles Franklin is shipping to Road to Ruta members. You can contact him via email, Andy, A-N-D-Y, at milesfranklin.com, milesfranklin.com. And he'll set you up with physical silver. Let's keep him busy. I love it when he says, stop, I'm too busy. Keep that up. Because that's silver that the rigging cabal can't get their hands on. And that's what we need to do. We need to remove bankers from the commodity markets. Why are even bankers in commodities other than to rig prices? Bankers have a license from the Federal Reserve to create money out of thin air. That's the vast majority of money is created through lending it out through the banking cabal. It's not created at the Fed. It's not created at the U.S. government level. It is created at the banker level. They lend money into existence. 10-to-1 leverage. That's where that money comes from. Money wasn't there, and all of a sudden, a banker gets $1 million. They can lend out $10 million. So keep that in mind. That is a very powerful tool, obviously, but at the same time, it comes with responsibility, and that responsibility should not be rigging of the markets. They are creating money out of thin air to rig markets. There's a problem there. And oh, by the way, if these big ones go down, it's the taxpayers that have to bail them out. There's all kinds of problems here. We need to get rid of that old system and move on to something new. And I say, we're not going to see the fair market value of silver until the comic shuts down. And that might be coming very soon. So keep an eye on that. All right. So, but that's not what I want to talk about. I am going to talk about cryptos, where we are, Theta, where it is, and then my friend Jenny Moonstone. We're going to talk today. We're going to talk tomorrow now. So all you private road members who look forward to every week the Jenny Moonstone discussion, it'll be posted this weekend. I'm going to play you a blind. I held up a picture of like 4 people, and she did blind readings that were unbelievable. And one of them was Mitch Liu, the CEO of Theta. So I'll get to that in 1 second. As far as cryptos are doing great. You know, the big crash expected by all the traders has not materialized. XRP is up. I get it. It'll continue to go up as long as the banksters and the bad guys are in charge. I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. It does not resonate with my soul. And I know a lot of people, it does not resonate with their souls either. And if it was a bankster coin, it's not the big banksters that are in on it. It's the little guys. It's the deep state. So I am not a fan of it. I'm just telling you right now. Do what you will. If you think you can make money from it, great, go for it. That's your own moral dilemma. Litecoin I am a very big fan of. And Litecoin's nice and solid, 225. Remember, Litecoin will be needed when the banks go down. When the banks go down, XRP will not be needed because there's no bank. It's to solve a banker problem. But Litecoin will be needed because it solves the problem that the banks left as a void. You can right now, where's my Litecoin card? I have one. I hope everybody has a Litecoin card, a Litecoin Visa card right here. Really cool card. And it holds your assets in Litecoin. Yes, you don't control your keys, so don't keep a lot of it in there. But when you pay for something, it automatically swaps it over for, sell some of your Litecoin, whatever the amount you bought, plus a little fee, and it's an instant transaction, and you'll be paying for things in Litecoin, literally at that moment. So definitely get your Litecoin card. I think let's go to Litecoin. Look up Litecoin card. I think it's with the Litecoin Foundation, has a promotion on it. But yeah, awesome card. Theta. Okay, I know nobody's tired of me talking about Theta now. That a lot of people are still getting in. Of course, you should still get in. Buying Theta at $13 right now is like buying Bitcoin at $13. It just takes time. And one of the things that people talk about is the Theta to the Theta fuel ratio. And a lot of people try to play that game. If it goes under 20, I'm gonna sell my Theta fuel under 20 and buy Theta fuel over 30. I don't know what it is. But the ratio, what should the ratio be? I don't know. And I don't think anybody does. And it does depend on a lot of how the Theta Labs people at Theta Labs decide how it will be implemented. Like a lot of this Theta fuel stuff could be NFTs could take the place of it. Theta fuel doesn't have to be used for everything. Again, Theta runs smart contracts, and the NFTs are going to be gigantic on Theta. So, I mean, I am a big fan of Theta fuel. It's going to be awesome using it. 100,000th of a Theta or a Theta fuel for a single smart contract transaction. Whereas, so that's 100,000ths of maybe fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a penny. Whereas Ethereum is, $10 to send them one transaction. It's completely useless. So yes, I'm a big fan of Theta, a big fan of Theta Fuel. The NFTs are coming on. So, but I did want to talk about this. What's going on now? We have wallet issues, wallet display issues. Most people, wallets are working fine. Take off your VPN. It seems to work a lot better. I think it has to do with all the upgrades they're doing to the wallet. They're trying to put one-click staking on your phone. They're trying to do implement this new NFT marketplace. All kinds of things, and I think it's just slowing it down. The blockchain is fine. Don't worry about it. Go to the Theta Labs, thetatoken.org website. Top right side, you can click on the Explorer and put your receive address or your public address. They're the same thing for Theta. in there, and you can see that on the blockchain, your coins are just fine. You can see what you have staked. You can see how much you're earning. A lot of people were worried because they changed the way that earnings are allocated for Theta Fuel when you're staking. It doesn't come every 15 minutes anymore. It comes in bigger clumps. Overall, you're going to make the same amount of T-fuel depending on the entire pool. But like if you don't have a lot of Theta stakes, say you only have 1,000, it might take weeks before you get any T-fuel, and you're like, what's going on? It's not working. And then all of a sudden, bang, you'll get a big lump. If you have a lot of Theta staked, you'll get it more often. So don't worry about that either. But there was a time, we all know that they delayed implementing 3.0. Didn't give a great reason why, other than they had a lot on their plates and they wanted to do it right. And I think that's exactly what's going on. But before that, Jenny Moonstone, who doesn't like most cryptocurrencies because they're involved with the deep state big time, the cryptos, but not Theta. And there's a lot of retail, smaller guys in Theta, a lot of the big companies are in Theta, but the crypto cabal pretty much is not in Theta. And they want to get in. And I'm sure they're pressuring Mitch Liu, and Coinbase is pressuring Mitch Liu. All the big names are pressuring Mitch Liu and the team at Theta Labs. Yeah, everybody's got their agenda. So I did Jenny didn't know who Mitch Liu was, and I did a reading. This is over a month ago, before they decided to delay the 3.0. And I'm going to play for you. This is from the private road, one of the Jenny Moonstone rings. I'm going to play for you something that, at first I thought it had to do with T-fuel, but then when she's talking, and now knowing that they delayed the 3.0 until June 31st, I'm like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Mitch had a decision to make. Were they going to delay or not delay? And Jenny nailed it. Didn't even know who he was. I gave her 4 pictures. One was Jeffrey Christian, who she nailed. Stephen DeVoe, the guy who invented the Road to Ruta stuff and the computer programs in the early days and implemented them. Mitch Liu, the CEO of Theta, and Reggie Middleton, the inventor of DeFi and the inventor of Veritasium. But she just, it's an unbelievable reading. But I'm going to play you the Mitch Liu part for all you people who haven't heard it yet. This is Jenny Moonstone doing a blind reading. She didn't even know who he was. She didn't know. I didn't give her any information. So from a picture of a man she's never met, never seen before. Listen to what she got from. You guys are going to love this one. It's about Theta. It's about Mitch Liu, the CEO of Theta, who's a really unique and different guy. Now, what she got on Mitch, she called him the gray one. The gray one. Probably because of the picture I pulled. But also, he's got some decisions to make that he's kind of struggling with. I'm not sure what that decision is. It probably has to do with T-fuel. And whether or not T-fuel will play a prominent role in Theta going forward or not. Not meaning, obviously the way it was originally structured, Theta was going to be a system where people download and share their broadband. It's still going to be that, but the question is are we going to have individuals downloading the broadband, or is it going to be the manufacturer of the hardware? Samsung, Sony, your washing machine, Elon Musk in the car. They can put, it's a software. Remember, the Theta protocol is software. It goes onto your computer and you share your bandwidth. I think there is a struggle. And Jenny kind of picks up on he has a decision to make that he's struggling with. So it could be both. They could have Samsung put out TVs. Every single TV in the world have the Theta Edge node implemented on it. Same with Sony games, PlayStations. That every single one can have Edge node on it, and either way it goes, I don't know which way it will go, but either way it goes, Theta will be the most important part of the internet from now until eternity. So just keep that in mind. And oh, by the way, I got a really good hint I thought from Big Dog 1111, 1111, Big Dog and his gnomes over there on his YouTube channel. Go check out his YouTube channel, Big Dog 1111. But he was talking about the difference between theta and theta fuel, and ultimately theta is going to be, theta holders will be the deciders. And I've been saying this for a while, but what he was talking about is the people who want to control this thing. I think it's too late to do that. I think it's fairly decentralized already, but they want the most voting rights as possible when voting comes into play. Right now, still Theta Labs is still kind of running the show, but it will come to a point where it's the all the Theta holders through their Guardian nodes and the validators. But the validators, the big guys like Sony and Amazon and Netflix and Google, they're going to want control. And who would own control of the decisions made for Theta? It would be voted on democratically through the amount of Theta shares you own. So you're going to have companies with massive amounts of money bidding to get their hands on any amount of Theta they can get their hands on. That's scary. That's where it gets into thousands, 3,000. Jenny Moonstone on her latest said maybe even up to 10,000 per coin, which is $10 trillion market cap. You might laugh at it, but think about it. If every Sony TV, every Samsung TV, every PlayStation, every gaming board, every Tesla car was running a edge node, that's pretty big. And we'd have high-speed internet throughout the world, leveling the playing field for everyone. So that's when Jenny talks in this reading of this guy's face, she doesn't even know the guy does an amazing job. But she's like, he's got to make a decision. And he's like, doesn't quite know what to do. But check this out. It's really cool.
Thank you.
All right, you're doing good. Let's go. Okay, we'll go with this guy. Ready? Are you clearing? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. This is a little bit of a gray area for me. I feel like, and I kind of feel like that's what I want to call him, is a gray area. And I'm feeling like that's possibly because there are some key decisions that individual has yet to make that will define where he's at. Because when you showed me that picture, interestingly enough, I actually saw different entities behind him. All of them were smiling. So, and I know that sounds really creepy, but I'm used to seeing stuff like that. Believe it or not, to me, it's like, yeah, okay. But he, to me, is feeling kind of like coming forward as being undecided and kind of in the gray area. I see him as consciously, this is going to seem super weird, but he's consciously linked into the collective of younger people. So like people between the ages of 18 to 20, well, 18 to 30, we'll say. 25 is too young. Nobody gives a shit at that age, you know what I mean? But there is something about the collective of the younger groups that he was trying to get a feel for. I don't know if that's for marketing. I don't know if that has to do with trying to predict what they're going to do next. But a lot of things with this guy are not sitting with me stable, meaning he's kind of a fluctuator is what I'm getting. If it's kind of interesting, actually. He's a tough one. That's a tough one. Let's see. I mean, I really love that photo. Like, it's like a school photo. It's like super, we call them super seniors. They're the kids that should have graduated at 16, but they have to redo their senior year like 3 times. Oh, I'm just being, being silly. So let me take a look. I'm not getting like an overwhelmingly bad energy. I think that like I said, I feel like there are some things he has yet to decide on. And that could be that because personally and energetically for him, he is rebalancing some things. He's got different ideas. Some of them are not so great. Okay. And I know that sounds weird, but he feels like he's almost subject to a lot of manipulation, and he may be having a hard time with that. Not manipulation, but influences that creep in. He might not have the most powerful like psychic immune system. Like the person you just showed me was like born with a powerful psychic immune system. And so that's why he was put in that position, and it was like easier for him. Not, I shouldn't say easier at all, but it was, he accepted that there was going to be all this wacky stuff coming in, but he had his mind made up. Now, this guy that we're talking about, so 6 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is that we don't know what he's going to do just yet, but he does have some kind of a plan. Again, I see him as quantumly, like consciously quantumly tied into younger people. He's trying to predict what people are going to do. He's trying to predict what people are going to do. There's 2 other people very close to him that I think are actually kind of battling for influence over where his trajectory goes. And it's kind of open-ended at this point. That's all I've got on him. You know what? I feel like he has a block up. Like, I feel like if I was to sit down with him, if I were to sit down with him, he would say, no, you can't read me. At which point I have to be like, okay, I'll just read you when you leave. Yeah, really. I'll just read you when you get up and we'll talk about you. So this one's throwing me for a loop.
So do you think he's holding back any secrets or holding back any decisions, or just not decided yet? There's definitely something about he needs to make some decisions, and people influencing him, about what he can say and what he can't say.
I mean, he's brilliant. I'll tell you that right now. But I think because with the 6 of Swords, this is just like the guy is practically a freaking genius, and he does have huge ideas. But he feels to me like he's stuck in the middle of a battle right now, like a very internal, like just what do I do here? And there are other forces that I think detect this a great deal. It could be super obvious in his own life. And so then here come all of these other people, and they're trying to control his trajectory. Meanwhile, he's trying to track the trajectory of an entire group of people. I'm not sure to what end. Clarify the Hanged Man for me, please. Clarify the Hanged Man, please. 2 of Wands, more stalemate energy. He's in competition with somebody. There's like some major competition going on right now, and he's scared to make a move because he is trying to anticipate what this other group is going to do. So yeah, he hasn't decided yet. This is completely open-ended stuff.
So I'll start to reveal.
Okay.
When you said about the younger people and younger group, could it have to do with video games?
Is he a gamer? Is he a game developer?
Not really.
Okay. Not really.
No,
I don't know. Well, how do you connect with these people? You have to know what they're doing. You have to know what they're watching, what they're consuming. And what I can tell you also, because I saw all these things behind him, like smiling, he will have kind of a weird, like, maybe he doesn't tell people this, probably isn't open about it, but he hears like little voices and stuff like that. Like he has little, like what we could call familiars or go-betweens that give him little messages and stuff. I know that seems super creepy.
Could it be a person? Like a
sure.
Secretly whispering in his ear, hey, do this, hey, do that?
Well, sure. So when I mentioned that there were 2 other people that looked like they were trying to influence him in some way. Do you know what I mean? Like that could be people, that could also be, his own little mental constructs that he created to help him understand the world that he lives in, because he's not coming forward as a super average guy. All right. His brain works very differently than mine and than yours. He's kind of in a league of his own. I want to call him the gray one right now. And no correlation to gray aliens or anything like that. It's just, he's coming forward as a little bit in the middle, a little neutral right now.
I see the smiley faces it might just be the background.
Are there smiley faces in the background?
Kind of looks like, to me, it does.
No. What is that? Where is he?
I don't know. I just pulled this picture. All right, here's the big reveal. This is Mitch Liu, the CEO of Theta.
No.
Yep. Remember, Theta was created as a gaming to expand the gaming, the whole gaming world. And yeah, and everything you said makes sense to me. There are things that he needs to decide. There's a lot he can't tell people. You got companies like Samsung and Sony and the government. This guy's under a hell of a lot of pressure.
So, oh shit. So here's the thing. The quantum nature of Theta, it's a mirror. It's a mirror. So depending on what the collective decides to do now, that's going to influence. This is exactly why I think that like our talks and then people, the way that they react or respond to Theta has a direct effect on Theta, because it's almost just this completely neutral mirror. It doesn't even have, it's like, okay, well, what do you guys want to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Wow. So the CEO of Theta hears voices. Interesting. Well, it makes sense to me.
You had also, we had talked before when I showed you a different picture of the kind of the secret, the guy who was always disguised, whispering in the ear of steering the Theta project.
That's right.
He was a military guy, you said, and I think he said he was military. Or
something like that, with that like very military-esque, very tactical. There's like protocol involved and all that stuff. Yeah,
and that would be the guys as well, if you ask me. But that was really interesting, and it's there is definitely a lot going on in this guy's head, and he's not a normal dude. I don't think.
No, he's not normal. He's not normal.
He wants to. One of the readings, the remote view readings, said he really wants to be seen as successful. Like he'll sacrifice everything to be successful, and be part of the guild.
Right.
What one of the remote viewing guys said.
Well, and the problem is that I think, and it just seems karmically sound, that he would create something like this or represent something as powerful as Theta, and yet on a very personal, like soul level, he would come to this crossroads where it's like you have to choose. He has to make a decision. So, and so there are, with the Three of Pentacles, I did know 2 other people, but it could be more than 2 other people. It's just, we use these numbers to represent duality. There could be 10 really bad people, 10 really good people, different camps competing for control of this man's trajectory here.
But there are 3. Within Theta, there are 3 main guys.
Oh, okay.
He's the CEO. He's the head guy.
Okay. Okay.
There's pretty much 3 main guys.
But that Hanged Man energy, it's not that it's concerning, because I feel like we've talked about this, and there will be this like lull, there will be a space that's very sensitive to what the human conscious, like what the human collective is projecting. Theta will then absorb that, mirror that, and its performance will reflect it directly. I think that that's why Theta performs almost in response to like our talks and what people are doing and saying and thinking about Theta. But that Hanged Man tells me that this is not yet decided. There are some things he has not yet done, and he's coming forward as being neutral. And that could have, he could be running patterns with himself, like family stuff, like his own trauma, where he's not sure if he wants to be the villain or the hero just yet. The villain archetype is a slippery slope because it's about good intentions and it's about helping, but how easy is it to kind of become too into yourself and all of that? It's like you become, there's a gray area there.
There you go.
Wow.
Cool.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Big decisions. This could be also on a personal level. He could be. I did see another reading where he was struggling, juggling his personal life with work, but we don't know. We don't know. Amazing stuff, though. I mean, she's just on fire. All right, they have this Jenny Moonstone. That was a great one. And then we came to find out. Obviously, we didn't know back then. This is before they decided to delay the 3.0 until the end of June. So she knew he was struggling with decisions. Obviously, that was a big decision to delay it. It has to do with those NFTs, which is the younger generation. So I don't think it had to do with, I was like, well, it could be the video game. I don't think that was it. I think it had to do with the NFTs and how those will be looked at as far as income. Will they tax NFTs? Are they securities? There's a huge gray area, lots of decisions to make. So he basically put it off until the end of the next month. I did want to point out something that I was looking at for all you private road members and everybody else. I was looking at the chart I put together, the original Hitomi chart, and then I added a bunch of stuff as far as timing. And we are approaching, Hitomi has been right on. This is from Crypto Viewing, Crypto Viewing Patreon guys, Dick Allgaier and those guys. Amazing stuff. Hitomi was outstanding, the best in the world remote viewer, in my opinion. God rest Hitomi's soul, by the way. And we have this. Take a look at it. I mean, it is, from my calculations, we're coming into the 10x move for Theta, starting right around the end of April, beginning of May. If you had to say what's the date that it starts just going up, and then over the next 3 or 4 months goes 10x, a 10x move, I would say April 1st, a week plus or minus. So you don't have much time, and this is just for Theta. I don't know what Theta Fuel will do. Theta Fuel will probably do well, but again, I don't think Theta Fuel will do as well as Theta. Theta will be the mothership. So yeah, really exciting time. I'll be talking to Jenny Moonstone tomorrow for another reading. All you private road members, go check out all the amazing discussions we have. Jenny's on fire, and she's doing a great help to the Road to Ruta community, and they love her. You can book a reading. Go to jennymoonstone.com, book your own reading, and let's keep her busy. I hear she's on with Jean-Claude today, so look for that. And that's all I got for you. Really exciting times for Theta. As far as silver, just hang on. The bad guys will go down. They're very powerful. I mean, you're battling the strongest financial entities in the world when you're fighting the silver fight. But it is winnable because there are good guys who control everything on our side, within the U.S. government, within the Fed, and that's the whole Road to Ruta stuff. And ultimately, this game will be ended by the silver moonshot. So hang on to your silver. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. I'll talk to you later.